Hello, and welcome to a video series that I'll be calling Lemmings Reunion Level Solving um, Commentary. Um, so this is pretty much the exact same thing that I did with the other pack, Lemmings United. It's basically a video series where I show out the solutions to the levels in the pack, and I pretty much explain my thought processes that I had while I was trying to solve the levels, as well as explain the solutions themselves. So, seeing how that video series was a huge success with Icho, who is the level pack author, I decided to do the exact same thing with his other pack, Lemmings Reunion. And now, this is pretty much backwards, considering that Lemmings Reunion was Icho's very first pack, while Lemmings United is a sequel pack of sorts, where it was a pack that he released long after Lemmings Reunion. Um, but in any case, United was something that I finished um, much later than Lemmings Reunion, but at that it was around that time that I decided to start getting into recording videos on my own. Shortly after I finished resolving it, so that's pretty much the reason why I'm doing it backwards here. But in any case, I decided to do another level solving video commentary video series because the one with Lemmings United was just a huge success with Icho. He really liked it, and so I thought I'd continue it with his other pack, Lemmings Reunion, as well. So Lemmings Reunion has a pretty interesting history. It originally started off as a pack in Lemmini, and Lemmings Reunion was the third custom pack that I finished. So the first ones being Dove Lems and Pimo Lems. And then once I finished those two packs, uh, I set I set off to finish, or rather, set off to solve Lemmings Reunion myself on Lemini. So pretty much around the time that I started playing this pack, um, I've been I just registered myself as a member on the Lemmings forum site, and but during that time, I haven't really posted anything publicly to the site. Instead, I just simply visited the site daily and just read the posts silently in the background while on my quest to solve all of Lemmings Reunion on Lemini. So that was back in 2017. That was when I first played the pack. But after much struggling, and even while I was going to school and working a job at that time, yeah, I managed to eventually finish the entire pack on my own, without resorting to hints or replays and stuff. So I honestly can say that was a huge accomplishment. Yeah, considering that Lemmings Reunion was one of the um, was a difficult pack in itself. It has a very nice difficulty curve and everything, but it does get quite difficult near the end. And it is also a pack that gets difficult quite fast as compared to in contrast to the original Lemmings game. So that by the end of the first rank, yeah, there are already a lot of levels that are difficult. And I certainly remember the last few being difficult and taking me a while. And then just from that point on, there were breeders here and there, but for the most part, after the first rank, it was somewhat steady going. But for the most part, solving times just slowed considerably as I got deeper and deeper into the pack. But yes, when I did get to the end, it was very satisfying to have solved all of the pack. Yeah, and on Lemon too, where it only has the certain features such as directional select, which allows you to select lemmings going in a particular direction only, and there's no frame stepping, yeah, in Lemon but there is skill assignments while paused though, and that certainly came in handy at times. And a huge difference, as in contrast to Neo Lemmix, is the fact that Lemini has timed bombers. So in there, it pretty much adds execution difficulty in that you have to assign the bombers at the right time and spot in order to have the lemming explode in the places that you want it to. in order to be able to solve the levels. So yes, as I said before, I first played Lemmings Reunion on Lemmini back in 2017, and then I just recently played Lemmings Reunion on Neo Lemmix, and the version that I played it on is version 12.11.2, as you can see here, and this is for new formats Neo Lemmix. And as you might have guessed, Lemmings Reunion also went a little further than that. Before the new formats version, Icho also converted it to old formats Neo Lemmix, and he actually maintains both versions to this day. The most low designers have went out of the way to just simply maintain the new formats version instead of maintaining both. There's practically no one who still makes packs for old formats Neo Lemmix, but there still might be though. But pretty much everyone has transitioned to new formats Neo Lemmix. So as explained in the other video uh, for the Lemmings United level solving commentary, basically Neo Lemmix is a engine that focuses on custom level packs, and it has a lot of quality of life features that make the playing the games as efficient as possible. So in particular, in contrast to Lemmini, where there's only directional select and being able to assign skills while paused, Neo Lemmix adds other features such as frame stepping, both backwards and forwards, and also, for example, being able to go to the last skill assigned or even to the next shrugger. So basically, the state in which a builder finishes laying his 12 builder bricks, and also being able to time skip. For example, 10 seconds into the future via the space bar, or even rewinding certain amount of seconds as well. And even better is that you can even customize how many seconds you want to skip. Yeah, both backwards and forwards. And so because of that, yeah, Neo Lemmix aims to reduce the execution difficulty while still maintaining the puzzle of the level. So really, most levels just simply maintain the difficulty due to the puzzle rather than the execution of the solution itself. So yes, so why? So if I have already solved a Lemmings Reunion on Lemmini once upon a time, then why did I decide to do the new formats Neo Lemmix version as well? Well, I just recently had an itching to play Lemmings Reunion again, just because I remember how very good the pack was, and I remember liking it so much back when I played it on Lemmini and also solved the entire pack too. So I decided to play through it again, and also it's just fun to see like how do the lowest play out differently in Neo Lemmix as compared to Lemmini, for example. Um, and also because I also wanted to do a level solving commentary video series on Lemmings Reunion as well. Yeah, just because like it's a pack that I really liked, and I definitely recommend it. Yeah, although certainly not for beginners though, because the pack is quite difficult. And it certainly increases in difficulty much faster than the original game did. And and pretty much any packs that I really like, yeah, I generally just end up doing a level solving commentary video series on it. And so far, I've done two of them. Yeah, Lemmings United and also Lemmings Open Air. But that's by a different author. Yeah, that's not by Icho. But in any case, because I did a level solving commentary video series on Lemmings United, which is Icho's sequel pack, I decided to do justice and do the same for his Lemmings Reunion pack. And again, it's more than just the fact that I done it for Lemmings United and that Icho really loved the series. It's also because I like Lemmings Reunion itself as well. And of course, compared to his other pack, Lemmings United, yeah, United is definitely the much better one. Yeah, both in quality and just like the puzzles and designs as well. Yeah, it's just really well done and many times better than Lemmings Reunion. Although Lemmings Reunion is still it's still a very well liked pack, yeah, by the community. Um, and it's definitely easier than Lemmings United. Um, in a way, I'm kind of biased because that Lemmings Reunion simply uses the classic 8 skills as compared to Lemmings United, which uses both the classic and the Neo Lemmings skills. Although it doesn't use the what do you call it, the shimmer until you get to the bonus rank. But in Lemmings Reunion, you're simply restricted to the 8 classic skills. And this is mostly because of the fact that Lemmings Reunion originally started off on Lemmini. And in that engine, only the classic 8 skills is supported. So therefore, you will not see any Neo Lemmings exclusive skills. And so, rather than change up the solutions to take advantage of the new Lemmings skills, yeah, it's simply better to just maintain the pack as it was and just simply convert it and pretty much adapt solutions wherever is needed to make it work, just because of the different physics between Lemini and Neo Lemmings. So yes, that's so pretty much the reasons why I decided to do the level solving commentary video series on Lemmings Reunion. Pretty much the exact same um, reasons why I did Lemmings United. For one thing, I really like the pack, and also I already did for Lemmings United. Therefore, I feel that I need to do the same for Lemmings Reunion. And just the fact that Icho really loved the series I did on Lemmings United, I know he would love the one for Lemmings Reunion as well. And I recently asked him if he thinks it's a good idea as to whether I should do both an LP at the pack and a level solving commentary video series. And I agree with him with his response that he gave me, which is doing both is like is not necessary, and it's just, let's say, like not a good use of my time. And I agree with him because I originally just wanted to do both, but after much debating with myself, I said, yeah, I agree with us. I agree with him. It's just overkill. And so instead, I decided to just simply solve all the pack, yeah, off camera, and then simply do a level solving commentary video series in the end. Yeah, that seems to be a much better way to go about this. And as he has already told me that he will definitely watch this video series on his pack, I know he will love this as well. And as a side bonus, yeah, the other reason for doing such a series is to also get others to play the pack as well. Although if that doesn't happen, then it's not that big of a deal to me. Although it certainly it certainly does say a lot, yeah, if people do end up playing it. And I do believe that that was true for Lemmings United to an extent, where I do believe I had some success in getting some others to play it. And so if the same thing happens with Lemmings Union, great. Yeah, that will definitely show that the series will be has been successful as well. But in any case, I think I've went on for long enough now. So let's go ahead and get into the level solving commentary video series itself. So, and something that I forgot to point out is, and that is, there are 5 ranks in this pack, and the first rank that we're going to be covering is I'm Too Young to Die. So, just like Lemmings United, I'll simply be doing the 10 videos per video, and in this case, this pack, it works out quite nicely because there are 30 lows per rank. So with 30 lows in 5 ranks, yeah, there are 150 lows total. And so because of that, you can figure with some quick math that there will be 15 videos in total for this series. So this is the first video. And so we're going to go ahead and do the first 10 lows of the I'm Too Young to Die rank. So we are starting off with I'm Too Young to Die 1. Just dig. Reloaded. So as you can see, based on the title itself, it's simply a throwback to the first level of the original Lemmings, where it was called Just Dig. Uh, First of all, let me find a replay itself. I believe this is right. Yeah, and let me sort this by name. Okay, so as the title suggests, this level is just simply your basic digger tutorial. So it's just to simply show you how the digger skill works. Okay, so first lemming that gets to here, I have him dig. And then I also max out the release rate as well, just so I can get everyone into the digger pit on time before it gets too high and people and the lemmings that drop from above will splat. Although in this case, I don't think it's really necessary since the release rate is quite high. Okay, and then once a lemming gets to here, then I start digging again. Okay. And then once I get to here, then I start digging here. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. So as you can see, it takes a minimum of 3 diggers to solve this level. Although you certainly can use more if you wanted to. If you ended up using diggers in less than optimal places. Really, there's no way to fail this level, unless you go out of your way to do so. In particular, for example, you use your first digger over the fire pit, and also a digger over the water pit, and also a digger over the fire blowtorch area. But if you don't do that, then you'll always end up passing this level. Okay, so that is the first level. So now on to the second one. I'm Too Young to Die 2. Hell of a Bash. So, as the title suggests, this is your tutorial level on the basher skill. So the digger goes vertically, the basher in contrast goes horizontally. So basically, it's just this level just simply teaches you to just bash towards the exit, and there are some visual cues as to tell you where to bash. So in particular, you want to bash towards the Y's, on both sides. Do not bash towards the ends. Otherwise you'll get the lemmings trap and you won't be able to recover. So just simply 2 bashers on both sides. And that's it. So that uses 4 bashers in total. So another very quick and easy one here. Alrighty, I'm Too Young to Die 3, Ups and Downs. So this level combines both the climber and the floater skills in one level. It basically teaches you lemmings climbing and also floating. Basically, there are some falls in which lemmings cannot survive without a floater, so therefore you need to give them a floater so that they can drop down safely while splatting. Because in the game, there are certain distances where if lemmings fall too far, they will splat, and rather than survive the fall. So in those cases, if you have floaters, then you can just simply give the lemming a floater so that they can survive. So as the level shows, it's just simply to show you lemmings surviving high falls and also just climbing surfaces where the surface is perfectly vertical, and then they can just simply climb up. Okay, so once again, just another quick, easy tutorial level. I'm Too Young to Die 4, Ice Blocked. Okay, and then as the title somewhat suggests, and also from the skill bar itself, this is your blocker tutorial level. Alright, and so basically a blocker, it just simply turns lemmings around that hit the blocker. So we go ahead and hit the put a blocker here. We certainly don't want them to keep going to the right, because otherwise they're just going to fall into the water here, and we don't want that. So instead, we put a blocker so that they all turn to the left. Oh yes, and you may have noticed the animation on the icicle traps here. So basically, it was decided to put in animations for traps, just so the player can easily see where the traps are. Some traps are quite well hidden by design, and so by giving them an animation, it makes it easier to spot them. But at the same time, it's also been agreed that, if possible, try to try to make them like not hidden. Yeah, so in other words, don't hide traps, because that tends to be frowned upon by the community. And then here we place on our blocker so that we can turn the lemmings to the right. Here we don't want them going off to the left, otherwise they'll fall into the trigger area, the ice steam blower trap. And then here we want another blocker to turn the lemmings to the left. We don't want them to keep going to the right, otherwise they'll fall and splat. Because according to Splat Router here, yeah, you see that yeah, this is just barely survivable, but it is not. Yeah, the lemmings will splat. So that therefore we put a blocker so they go to the left. And then finally, one last blocker here. Otherwise, once again, same thing. They're just going to walk into the ice steam blower trap. And that's it. So this level ends up giving one more blocker than is needed, but that's perfectly fine. Yeah, this level isn't meant to be difficult anyway. And then, in the end, it's usually customary to blow off blockers once you have solved the level. Although the other option is that you could just simply hit the escape key on your keyboard to simply exit to the post results screen like that. Either way, it serves the same thing. Yeah, to end the level. I'm too young to die 5. Don't mind if I do. So as the title suggests here, this is your minor tutorial level. Okay, so in contrast to the Digger and the Basher, the Miner goes downwards but at an angle, at a slope. So I have to first lemming mine, and then after a while I max out the release rate so that everybody turns back to the left. I'm giving some lemmings enough time to forge the path ahead. Although in this case I still have some lemmings bunched up, but even then it's still easy to mine in such a way so that no one goes over the top. So here, yeah, for example, you can start mining here. Creating this deep tunnel so that everyone turns back to the left. Yeah, if they were simply allowed to go over the top, then some of them will fall and splat. And then, as you can see, it just takes a minimum of 2 miners to solve this level. Although you're certainly more than welcome to use more than that if you want to. So in a way, it's kind of safe to experiment with the skill here. With the miner skill. Alrighty, I'm too young to die 6. Bomb your way through. Okay, and as the title suggests here, this is your bomber tutorial level. And this is one of the first levels where this level plays out differently in Neo Lemmings as it does in Lemmini. So in Neo Lemmings, bombers are untimed. So the instant that you assign the bomber to a lemming, it just simply goes into the oh no animation and then explodes. Whereas in Lemmini, yeah, bombers are timed, meaning they will explode after 5 seconds. Yeah, with a visual countdown indicator above their heads. So in that way, you have to know when to assign the bomber in order to have the bomber explode in the right place. Here, however, you can just simply assign the bomber right next to the wall/pillar that you need to get through. Because there's no need to time the bombers. But in Lemmini, yeah, you have to assign the bomber. If you want Lemming to explode at around this place, you'll probably have to assign the bomber maybe around here or so. Yeah, you have to time it in such a way so that after 5 seconds, yeah, the bomber will end up right next to the wall or close to it in order to be able to blast through it and let the lemmings get through. So here, it's the same though, just with the added execution difficulty. I'm too young to die 7. City builders. And then, as the title suggests here, this is your builder tutorial level. So plenty of builders here. And as you can see, the builder skill simply has the lemming make a builder staircase at an upwards angle using 12 bricks. So here at the beginning it takes about 4 builders. And then we do the same thing here. When we get into this pit, we build our way up. Okay, so 2 to the right, and then 2 more to the left. So in total, we've already used 8 builders. And now finally we need to build a staircase to get to the exit up here. Okay, that takes another 3 builders. Okay, so as you can see, we used a total of 11 builders. Although there are some surplus builders here, so that in case you do waste some, you can still recover and solve the level. Okay, so I'm Too Young to Die 8. Your turn. So we have had tutorial levels on each of the 8 skills, although with the exception of one level where it combined both the climber and the floater skill, we are now on to the first X of everything level in this pack. And in this case, X is 10, where you have 10 of every skill, 10 of every of all the 8 skills here. And in most cases, yeah, in these X of everything levels, there are multiple solutions. So you just simply need to find a solution to get the required number of lemmings to the exit. And because this is a first rank level, Icho doesn't really care how you solve these levels. Yeah, solve a level like this. So here, this is the solution I use. First lemming mines, and then I have the second lemming block right behind them, turning everyone to the left here. Okay, so the miner will drop down here. So here, it's pretty close to splat type, but he does survive. And even if he doesn't, we do have a floater that we can give him. Yeah, if you really want to make sure, you could just simply give him a floater, so that you don't have to worry about whether he splats or not. Okay, and then build across this water gap. That takes 3 builders. Alrighty, and then bash through. And then with the last lemming here, I dig, and then I mine to set the blocker free. Okay, and then bash through here. Okay, and at this time I already bashed to release the crowd here. Okay, and then finally one last builder to get across, and then to get to the exit, and that's it. So as you can see, easy level. And this is a 100% solution. You are allowed to lose half, up to half here. So if you want to, you don't have to save everyone. Although, in my case, I generally try to go for a save all solution if I can. And it also generally depends on how I feel as well. But for the most part, I tend to go for a save all. I'm Too Young to Die 9. How about some help over here? Okay. And as you can see from the skill set, this is another X of everything level. Another very easy one at that as well. Alrighty, first lemming on the left entrance, I have him dig, and then I build a council him. So essentially the whole point of this digger is to simply dig down low enough so that nobody can walk out to the left. Alrighty, first lemming that gets to the barrel here, I bash, while the lemming behind him, I set a blocker. Okay, so this effectively contains both crowds here. Okay, first lemming will go on to forge the path. So of course we build over this quicksand gap. Okay, that takes 3 builders. Okay, bash through the barrel, and then bash through this wall here. Then, doesn't really matter what you do here. Here I use a miner through the staircase to get to the exit. Okay, and then here I mine, and then I bash. So here and then I release the blocker with a miner, and then bash to cancel him. So here I don't understand why I used a miner and then bashed. So surely I could just simply use a basher. So I don't exactly know why that happened. Guess my mind was just somewhere. Alrighty, and then the final level for this video, I'm Too Young to Die 10. uneven terrain. So almost another X of everything lower here. Here we had 10 of every skill except for builders, where we had double the amount, which is 20. But even then, yeah, even though we have much less in the other skills except for the builders, it's still quite an easy low. And again, yeah, this low and the last few, Icho doesn't really care how you solve these. Just simply find a way to get the Lemmings to the exit. Alrighty, so first Lemming goes on ahead and builds, while the second Lemming behind him digs. And then I build the council for him after a while. Okay, upon reaching here, we bash through, and then dig. Well, so not really bash through, but like bash for a bit before digging. Alrighty, and then I mine, build. Yeah, it just takes one builder. No, I think it has to take 2 builders. So, although I think here it will reach it with just 1 builder. But in any case, you have more than enough builders here, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then I mine underneath the vine trap here, and then bash the council. Okay, build some more. 2 builders here, and then bash. And then I dig down. Okay, build. Okay, build. And then build again. Build again. Build some more. And then bash. Yeah, and this happens to be low enough so that the basher does not get interrupted. So this ends up taking 4 builders. Although, again, does not really matter how you do this. Yeah, you could just as well just build over here and bash here instead. Okay, so 2 more builders get to the exit, and that is it. And then finally, here I just simply bash to crowd out, and that's it. Okay, so that was the first 10 levels of the I'm Too Young to Die rank. So next time we will do 10 more levels of the rank. So I hope you enjoyed this first video of the Lemmings Reunion level solving commentary video series, and I'll see you all for the next one.